Patrick and Kate, and we're back once again. Lesson 1.06. Today's lesson will be about Google Slides basics. Again, we're on the kind of a little mini series here on Google Tools. We started with Google Drive, then we went to Google Sheets, and now we're on Google Slides. Sheets, slides, drives, holy cow. A lot of singular syllable words for the name of the Google tools, isn't it? And Docs. Ooh, there's Docs too. All right, so Google Slides. What we want to be talking about here is a couple things. I'm going to introduce you to the tool, like I did on the Google Sheets tool. Google Slides is like a sheet of paper or whiteboard, right? We use words and images to explain what we're trying to get across to somebody. And this presentation here that you're seeing, this slideshow, was created on Google Slides, right? I was able to make these slides in Google Slides really quickly and easily. Pretty amazing how easy it is to use that tool, right? Well, we use this tool when we use Sheets in our Amazon business is quite a few different scenarios that can go down, but we use it quite often for instance, to give to our designers and our copywriters to tell them, how we want them to go at creating our images or creating our listing copy. Okay, so that's one main way that we use Google Sheets, or you'll be using Google Sheets. We also use it to create ebooks. Let's say you're giving away a free ebook to try to entice people to give you a review, or to really just give your customers a little extra. You can use Google Sheets to create an ebook pretty quickly, right? And then we also use it for presenting, like in a PDF format, to investors and to potential buyers of our business. So a few years down the road, maybe you're going to decide you want to sell your brand, sell your product. Sometimes when you sell your brand, you're actually selling your niche of products, right? Then you want to be able to convey why people should buy your brand or your products to take and make it their own business. You can use Google Sheets to really create a really snazzy looking, really effective way of telling them what you're all about and why they should buy you. Okay, so that's just a few ways we use Sheets. There'll be more. This is kind of a cool program in that it lets you kind of be an artist without having to know how to draw or paint or anything, right? You kind of get to do some graphic design work and some layout design pretty easily. So now I'm going to show you a real seller scenario where I'm going to show you how we use it to convey a plan to our photographer, right? You don't just hire a photographer and tell him, I want 7 images for my product. Okay. Now, if you've been in business a while or you have a pile of cash you're sitting on, yes, there are companies out there you can hire to do your images for your product listing that you can simply pay them enough money, $7,000-8,000 for one product, for the images, for all your image work on one set of products, on one product. Yeah, if you've got $7 or $8 grand to spend on your images, sure, you probably don't have to give them a whole lot of direction. Although nobody is more of an expert on your product, or is going to be more of an expert on your product and more importantly, what your customers are all about and what they're going to click on and buy than you, okay? By the time you go to market, you're going to have spent quite a number of hours and quite a bit of money on figuring out who your customers are and what they're going to relate to, what they're going to click on, what colors they like, all the details involved with creating imagery or creating copy. No one's going to know better, even those people that you pay $6-7 grand for. So this is something I take on anytime I hire somebody to do anything for me. I typically will give them a Google Sheet, a Google Slide presentation to explain to them what I'm expecting, what I'd like them to tackle, and the details of what that should look like, right? I'm giving them a map. I'm using Google Slides to create a map for whomever is doing the work for me so that they can take the right path and get all the stops along the way. They can get those covered. So I'm happy when they deliver the final deliverables of the images or the copy or whatever they're doing for me. So I'm a happy camper. I'm like, wow, they really got what we needed done here. If you don't give them the direction, then what ends up happening is they spend a lot of energy and time figuring out what should be best or what they think is best for your images or your copy or whatever they're working on, and that takes away from their time that they can actually put into making the design prettier and more distinct and more poppin', more sexy, as my old college advisor used to say. Okay, so let me go through a real solar scenario for you real quick, and then we will be done with it. Okay, so again, let's see if we can do this. You can go slides.new, just like we did with Sheets, and bam, it creates you a new Google slide. Again, you can go out here and go New, Google Slides, and you can create a new Google Slide file right away, or you can go up to the app and go to Slides. But I like slides.new in the search bar, and bam, it creates me a new presentation. All right. So if I was starting from scratch, this is what that would be. So let's say we're going to do product images, image design lab. I don't know, something like that. Product A, brand A. So we could create a whole new presentation if we wanted to, okay? A whole new Google Slides presentation. But quite often when you're working with us here at Master Private Label, I've already created a template for you to use that kind of helps you, guide you along the way. So you're probably going to get something like this, which is an example of a product photos template, right? And the whole idea of this is, like I explained, we're going to tell our photographer information so they can get the best images made for us possible, okay? So this is what one of those would look like. We give them, and this was all done in Google Sheets, and you can come in here and change these things, right? If you get this template, well, you're going to have different prices and different brands and different ASINs here, and you can just simply change these here. You can paste in your own whole new table if you want. You can change these links. It's all really easy to do, right? I can delete that and I can paste something else in. All super easy to do. You can grab stuff, move it around. I don't like the way that is. You can center. All right. Let's say I don't like, that's just too plain. I want to show my designer what we're all about. So I'm going to choose my brand color, which happens to be, that color. Okay. Oh, I want to add a new slide underneath that one. And I'm going to make this slide just one big picture that I had over here on this other one of kind of what we're going after. And let's say it's that one there. I'm just going to put this big picture here. I'm just using this to show you an example of what you could do really quickly, right? Oh, wait, I want to make sure that that looks like it's popping out of the page, right? I put a shadow on it. See, now it looks like an image sitting there on the page, right? It's like I just took a photograph, printed it up, and popped it on our whiteboard page. You see how quick I did all that? Super easy, right? Super easy. So you could take this template here and you could duplicate this slide so that you could see how we did it. And you could come down here on your version and you could take out these pictures and you could go get your own, right? You could go out here to your competitors. Go out here to your competitors and you can find, oh, you know what? I really like the way these guys did their, I don't know what that's all about. I like this simple image here. You can just simply right click on that bad boy anywhere on the internet. Usually you can right click, copy it, go back to your presentation, pop your picture in there. Bam, that easy. Oh, I want it to pop off the page. So I'm going to drop that shadow on there. Boom. Okay. Oh, I also like the way these guys did it here with theirs. So I'm telling my designer what my main image, who my competitors I like their main image. It gives them something to kind of mimic, or it lets them know what kind of style I'm going for. So there I pasted that one in that I'd copied from that other Amazon listing. I'm going to drop the shadow on that one. And let me show you what it looks like without the shadow dropped. See how it's kind of just floating out there? You drop the shadow, and now you can tell that, oh, that's the image that he's talking about, right? That's what we're talking about. Keeps these kind of separated visually. All right, so, and then you could go and erase this sheet, right? Go erase this sheet, and you would just have yours in there for the main image examples. You could do that going down the page here, and at the end of this very quick endeavor, you would have a great presentation to give to your photographer or your designer or whoever you're telling to do. But in this case, it's your photographer, and they would have a great starting point, and they could really get in deep and get you some great images that you actually want. Okay, so that is a quick run through on Google Slides, and lo and behold, we are not finished. You have an assignment. Okay, you have an assignment, and that assignment is action item number 1. Watch the training. Let me go ahead and take my face away there. Yet another training video. Now, I'm not going to be doing this very often, but that's 3 in a row because other people have already done great training videos to give you a little bit more in-depth introduction into the basics. I don't need to recreate the wheel. I don't like reinventing the wheel. It's already been invented. So that's why I am giving you these other experts who have already created the training videos. And so I would suggest you go watch here. Again, you can click on the link in the lesson description down below and learn some more about Google Slides. And at the end of this one, you will now know quite a bit about Google Drive, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, right? In which case, you'll be an expert, and I'll be able to ask you any question and have you design any kind of layout or sheet that I need, any sheet, slide, or in any file in Google Drive, and you'll be able to hammer it out, right? No. We'll give you a lot more chances to practice and put this into use and help along the way, okay? So hopefully this was useful to you. I know it will be. You don't know it yet, but as you move onward and upward, it will be, okay? So I'll see you on the next one. Take care.